Hello everybody, welcome back to FusioCraft. It's been a little while. I've had a really busy December. It's the holiday season, you know how it is. At the same time, a lot has happened in between episodes, and not much has happened between episodes. For starters, the server's on 1.19.3 now, so I don't have Distant Horizons on yet because it hasn't been updated. Oh, check it out, this dates the recording. So yeah, it's like Christmas time right now. So between having company over and the holidays and my Fortnite addiction, I haven't had much time for FusioCraft, but I'm really glad to be back. So in between episodes, I've been working on the back of this mountain, and it's not done yet still. It's always just not gonna be done, huh? There's always gonna be that much more to do. But I've done a lot of the back, but I'm still figuring it out, and a lot of this is not permanent. Let me nestle down here. So, I don't know. A lot of it looks kinda awkward, like this part up here kinda just juts out. I feel like there needs to be more of a base under here. There's a lot of areas that just need better shaping, and it's awkward to do it up there because it's like, I can't just fly up there, I gotta make a platform up there and then work. And I was thinking over here of doing some sort of overhang, so you could kind of go underneath a big pillar and the mountain could be above you. So this would make like an archway section over here. And as you've probably already seen, I've installed some waterfall action over here. This is where a waterfall is gonna go. So I'm gonna have a lot of the shaping work in the back here in service to this waterfall. And I can make a pretty area down there. It's kind of beyond the scope of what I originally intended for the mountain, but you know me, I'm always adding on more stuff. So I don't think this back section is ready enough yet for some construction. It's still really awkward looking. I will say this though, this spire is pretty much done. So one thing I want to dive into is texturing the actual rocky surfaces of this mountain. I figured out a really good gradient with a really good color scheme. So it's about time I finally get back on the grind and make this mountain look pretty. I just tried to record this wild Tomba spitting on the bush. It was so funny. But while I'm here, guess what I'm loading up on? Some magenta terracotta, a lot of pink concrete. There's so much concrete I need to solidify, and there's so much terracotta I need to go out and just mine because this mason trading hall is pretty good, but if you want any specific color of terracotta, the fast way to get a bunch is to just make it yourself. Okay, I've got like a small sampling of the mountain texturing that I'm going to do because 2 shulker boxes is like nothing for this thing. You know how much moss I had to grind out for this? It's gonna be a while. What are you doing down here? You're supposed to be up the mountain. You know what? Enjoy. Welcome to Calcite Cove. It's actually awesome if they roam around Calcite Cove as well. So before I place a single block, and I guess I could place a single block and be okay, but I need to do some measurements because I'm going to make this giant gradient all the way up to the highest part of the mountain. So down here is going to be the darkest areas of the mountain, and up top is going to be the brightest. So I'm just going to say level 70. Level 70 is the bottom, and if we go all the way to the tippy top, what is this? Whee! Oh my gosh, ow. And nailed it first try. Okay, 201. That's pretty easy math, 70 to 200 essentially. So we've just got 130 levels here to play with, and I've got 7 different blocks that I want to use for this gradient. So if I just roughly divide that by 7, I just want to equally gradient it up. 130 divided by 7 is roughly 18.5, so every 18.5 blocks-ish, I change the color. And there will be some natural randomness to it, it's not just going to be a straight line. But this lets me know, like, the first 18.5 blocks or so of the mountain, up top on the peak, should be calcite. I'm realizing, however, that maybe it's going to be a little more complex than that, because there's a bunch of like local spikes with calcite, right? And I don't want the only calcite of the mountain to just be up here. Like that's gonna have a calcite peak. There's gonna be calcite peaks all over. So I guess this 18 layer thing is gonna be the thing. It's gonna be the case for this big spire in the middle, but it's going to depend upon where I am on the mountain, what it is. Okay, 19 blocks down. This is my measurement. This is gonna be a big cap of the mountain. Let's place this stuff down and see how it will look. Well, I've been hard at work and I got the mountain so that the entire peak looks like it's all colored from down here. It's not done. But look at that, it looks really cool up there. I haven't finished dithering and like, you know, making these transitions between blocks better. They're still very basic and I want to have way more noise to them. But yeah, I've been grinding this out and it's looking really nice. However, I am so tired of it. I feel like one of the reasons I haven't put out a video recently is because I felt like I needed to finish the mountain, and I don't know, I want to work on the mountain still, but I don't want to make a video surrounding that. So I think I'm going to make the background kind of a background task that whenever I build it up enough to show it off on video, I will, but I want to start focusing on a lot of the little things around here that have been kind of neglected. Things that would be easier in a video and more entertaining, let's be honest. I'm thinking right here, right now, this beach, right next to my house, which is like the very first thing I've built, is still just empty. It's nothing but torches still. I kind of started working up the sides a little bit, but I have nothing for detail in here. I want to make this beach feel just as lived in, just as, I don't know, scenic as the rest of Calcite Cove and its surroundings. So I'm gonna start working out this terrain and put in some driftwood first thing. Alright, better transition to the beach area and a whole lot of driftwood and rocks later. This is what I got so far. Of course, there should be a big bonfire here too. I'm using a lot of stripped spruce as the driftwood because in real life, driftwood is super smoothed down by the water. And because it's been in the water for so long, there's often a little bit of green to it. Even if it's just a shine given to it by the ocean spray, I feel like the slight greenness to the spruce makes it the best choice. And of course, mixing in some mangrove roots in here as well really gives off that driftwood feel even more. And here's my favorite thing that I've done to the beach so far. There are so many like driftwood teepees that people make on the beaches of Northern California, so I had to put one over here. It's comfy and it's iconic and it totally fits the theme. I might make another one around here. But then I also started experimenting with some big rocks over here. So we got some tough and andesite boulders strewn about over here, and I think I may want to continue to push this a little more. Looking back at pictures of the beaches online, obviously the driftwood is one of the most notable things to put on the beaches, but a lot of big rocks as well. One of my original plans that I still have to do, which I might do right here today, is put in a bunch of big rocks out in the water. So I'm thinking maybe I'm going to continue these into the water, and I'm gonna need more tuff yet again for this. But yeah, this is how the beach is looking so far. I feel like there should be something big over here, and I'm still trying to figure that part out. But just as for the little things, I feel like I've gone through here and have made it that much more alive feeling. Now I just gotta figure out some even finer details and continue to push these rocks out into the water. Well, I've finished texturing the rock, and it looks really, really good. And then I got carried away, and I made a whole nother rock over here. And I'm starting a little rock over here, and a bigger one over here with an arch. I'm going crazy. Let's start with the entirely new rock. So this face, I have it sloping down into the water. This entire side is like the easy side to get up. I'm using some splotches of diorite here and there, like this is where the birds hang out. All I'm gonna say. And it gets more soily and mossy up here on the top parts of the rocks, and we got some trees growing out of them. I think this is a really cool looking mixture, and I think it really makes the whole rock look way cooler. Like, look at that, you know? You got the whole rock part, but then the part on top with all the vegetation makes it look so much better. I'm really proud of this rock. It feels very organic in the way that I kind of randomly structured it, like with this little chasm in the middle here. There's several different peaks, including this one really tall peak up here, again where some birds have been hanging out. I've started a bit of an idea of what if I made this whole rock area kind of an elytra course. Like, I can easily fly from this rock to this rock, and what if I just continue that for every rock that I build here? Maybe. That'd be a fun race time trial little thing to do. But yeah, same texturing goes for this rock with all the vegetation on top here, and we can walk down here onto the beach. Some more birds have been hanging out over here, and it looks so cool from the mainland. Let me just fly up here for a second and take a look. See, look at this. This entire area is starting to look so much cooler. It really feels like I'm just making this paradise for myself right now because, oh man, I can already picture how this whole area is gonna look with this kind of stuff. So anywhere in the ocean that's kind of relatively shallow, that's where I'm building the rocks. It's convenient and it kills 2 birds with 1 stone. It means I don't have to build up a really big base underneath the water for the rock, and it adds a bit of just natural randomness to where they are, so it doesn't look too man-made. So there's going to be another big rock over here because this is where another shallow section is. There's a really tiny shallow section over here, so I made a little tiny rock. Again, quite a popular spot for seagulls, apparently. There's gonna be one over there next to Ezo Island, and if I pop one over, yeah, there might be one right here. All of this is making me realize just how much I need to return to Ezo Island, so I might do that very soon. We got a good thing going here that I need to extend to the entire island because these dirt pillars have been here for like over half a year now, acting as nothing more than a little pedestal for our little froggy friend. This ugly temporary tree growing platform has been here for so long. I think the time is upon us to finally return to this, but look at how good it looks from the Ezo Island. Look at that. It's so good. I'm such a huge fan. I'm gonna continue grinding out a few more rocks, and then I think I'm gonna return to Ezo Island here. It's not done, but I've been working on this island for a little bit, and I've installed a beach over here, and I really like that. We got some rocks jutting out on the shore, and then we have this tiny little beach. We can go up this path that's gonna be grass eventually. And you got this cool view up here. You can walk along on top of this archway, and it'll take you to the big portion of the island. And I want to build like a house or something on this one. This rock island alone is basically its own project. It's gonna be big, and there's going to be more work on top of it than the others. So in the meantime, I've been working on the beach again, and you can already see it. I've installed a new little spot. One of the most chill spots in Calcite Cove now. A little van parked on the beach, equipped with surfboards and flowers and lawn chairs. The van is equipped with one of those pull-out awning things, so you can chill under here. Up the step stool, it's carpeted in here. This is the driver's seat. This is where you sleep. I'm gonna do a little more things in here later, but I wanted to just get this whole beach setup complete. Really proud of this. It really drives home the Calcite Cove color scheme, which kind of ties this whole beach area together, I feel like. There's not too much more I need to do. Maybe a few more pieces of driftwood in the really empty areas, but other than that, this beach area is looking pretty good, and I don't want it to be too congested. I've also built this boat over here, and I'm really proud of this one. Tiny little boat. I think it's got a really good shape. And my favorite detail about it is that I was able to incorporate the cartography table into the build without it like looking weird on the bottom. When I built this in creative, I noted that in order for the cartography table to work, this boat had to face east. And lucky me, facing east, it works. It works a lot. This was kind of the direction I was thinking it would face anyways. And now it's almost kind of a fourth of a bridge to Ezo Island, which makes me wonder, should I somehow make some parkour there? I could put some drip leaves up and do a proper parkour thing. Oops, I thought about it, and now I have to do it. Okay, many adjustments and 3 trident drowns later, and I think I'm good to go. Let's test this out. Booyah, I don't want it to be too hard, but I also want it to be fun. I know it's possible, I've done this part before. Oh, it's just a lot of little minor adjustments because some of these jumps were too short, and then some of these at the end were too long. What do you think, pal? Is this the one? He seems to be nodding. He seems to be saying, go for it. Okay. And I missed my jump. Wow, I am really not good at parkour today, but yeah, it's possible. And I made sure it's doable both ways so you can hop back up onto this boat. This is fun, and it kind of makes me want to make a little bit of an old ancient dock right here, just to kind of give more interest to this travel path, I guess. This has been a good shift in focus because this area is kind of like dead center, the glue between Calcite Cove and my house, the ocean, Ezo Island. It's a pretty big area to be neglected for so long, so I'm really glad that I finally came around to starting on working on this area. It needs more work. I need to finish the rocks, and I need to finally get back to Ezo Island, and this has been very motivating for me to go back to Ezo Island. But I think that's gonna do it for this episode. I know it's a little bit of a short one, and it's also been a really long time. I figure out to put something out, and who cares if it's shorter than 20 minutes. I don't know why I put that limitation on myself. This has been Qualia Quartz. Thank you for watching. FusioCraft will continue. Maybe at a slower pace than last year because my interests are diverging again, but mwahaha, there will be more.